guys, welcome to Yoga with Jess. This is part 1 of my complete beginner series where we're going to break down Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A, which is an essential sequence for any yoga practice. We're going to break it down so that you can maximize each pose and also get a full body workout today. So when you're ready, please meet me at the top of your mat. So beginning in mountain pose, Tadasana, bring the feet together, evenly distribute the weight between your toes and your heels, standing nice and tall here. And as we ground down through the feet, we're also growing long through that spine. So building a really long extension in the back, creating space in between the vertebrae, which will improve posture and help your overall practice and life. Standing tall in Tadasana, inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale with a flat back, slowly bend forward, really lifting out of the low back, engaging the quads, engaging the hamstrings as we lower down for forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, coming to the fingertips. And again, we want to extend out through the low spine, really creating a flat back here, feeling those hamstrings engaged, squeezing the quad muscles, and sucking the core low belly in. Inhaling here for halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to place the hands down on the mat and slowly step the right leg back and then the left leg back to come into plank or top of a push-up position. Now plank, as you'll start to feel, is a full body workout. So our core is engaged, again, belly tucked in, tailbone tucked under. And you want to think of one long line from the crown of the head all the way down the back and shooting out the heels. Fingertips are spread wide on the mat. Sometimes, you might need to rock back and forth a little to find your proper footing here. But everything is turned on, everything's working. Our arms are rotated out, biceps and triceps engaged, and our quads are also lifted and engaged here as well. So you should start to feel the heat turning on in this pose. So as you're ready, on an exhale, we're going to shift the weight forward. Bend the elbows in towards the body, hugging the rib cage, and slowly exhale as you drop all the way down to the mat. The slower you go, the more of a challenge it'll be. And placing the whole body down on the mat, we're gonna inhale up for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Now we're pressing into the hands slightly, but we're really using our back strength here to lift up. And a good test for this could be to maybe lift the hands off the mat, see if your upper body drops down or not. And here in Cobra too, we want to be pressing into the back of our feet. So actually the top of our feet, pressing into the mat, our pubic bone, pelvis pressing into the mat. And again, just using our back strength to lift up for a nice little half back bend here. On an inhale. On an exhale, we lower down, push back into the hands, press up a little bit like we're going into plank, and then press all the way back for downward facing dog. And in down dog, oftentimes I like to kind of pedal out the feet, feel into this pose. Pressing into the hands to lift the hips high, feeling that extreme stretch along the back side of the legs, on the hamstrings and the calves. And we really want to spread our fingertips wide and eliminate any gaps underneath the palms. Nice straight arms here, and rotating the biceps outward so that we're not losing anything in our shoulders or kind of coming into anything funky in the neck. So neck and shoulders relaxed, pushing into those hands, sending those hips high. A nice little exercise here too is to lift the heels coming onto the tippy toes, bend those knees, send the hips really high, and leaving the hips where they are, slowly work on straightening the legs, lowering the heels to the mat. A really nice stretch. As you're ready, look to the top of your mat, rise to your tippy toes, and for beginners with straight legs, let's slowly walk the feet up to the top of the mat for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long extension of the spine here. Exhale, lower down. Inhale with a flat back, come all the way up to rise. Arms touch overhead. And exhale, arms down by your side. Now that was a complete breakdown of the Sun Salutation A for beginners. We're gonna flow through it again, trying to match our inhale and exhale to every movement. So as you're inhaling, you're coming into the posture, getting the full benefit and maximizing that posture. And when you're done breathing and ready to exhale, that's when you move into the next pose. All right, so coming to the top of the mat, feet together, mountain pose. Inhale, growing long through the spine, energy shooting out the fingertips. Exhale, flat back, reaching forward like someone's pulling you forward, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, coming up to the fingertips. If you can't touch the floor, you could bring your hands to the ankles or the shins, just getting a nice extension of the spine here. Exhale, lower down, step it back to plank. Let's take an inhale here, shift the weight forward, and on the exhale, bringing those elbows in towards the body, slowly lowering down, core is engaged, everything's working. Lowering all the way down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift for cobra. Elbows again, tucking in towards the body, really engaging the back muscles here, pressing into the tops of the feet to lift as high as we can. And exhale, coming down, press into those hands, rising up and pushing back for downward facing dog. So just coming back to the breath here. Nice deep inhales through the nose. And exhale through the nose. And allowing your breath to let you sink deeper into the pose. So imagine sending that oxygen to any part that feels tight. Maybe the back of the legs are shaking tight right now. Maybe your wrists are hurting a little bit. Imagine breathing into those spaces and creating extra room. As prana, or breath, is this life force of energy that you can manipulate to your benefit. One of the other perks of yoga. Okay, on your next inhale, rise up to the tippy toes, look to the top of the mat, and exhale, slowly walk the feet forward to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extending out through that low spine. Exhale, lower down. Inhale all the way up to rise. Maybe a slight back bend here if you like. And arms meet down by your side, Tadasana. Now we're gonna flow through this one more time. I'm gonna give some variations if you'd like to challenge yourself and step it up a little bit, or continue to do the exact same flow. Whatever speed you're at is just perfect for you. Okay, coming to the top of the mat, arms down by your side. We'll take Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, flat back lower. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale down, stepping back, plank position. And on the exhale, slowly lowering down, arms tucking in. Now you can take your cobra like we did before, or if you'd like to challenge yourself, you can push up to upward facing dog, where the thighs lift off the mat, chest shoots through the arms, and our upper body is completely lifted for a nice big back bend here. Inhaling as we come into up dog. And exhale, bending the elbows, pushing back through plank to press back, downward facing dog. So that up dog variation is definitely gonna increase your workout, build that heart rate. So if you wanna step it up, feel free to take that variation instead of cobra. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. And again, to step it up, instead of walking with your feet, maybe bend the knees generously and try hopping to the top of the mat instead. Like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. And inhale all the way up to stand. Slight back bend, squeezing the buttocks. And exhale, lower the hands down to the side. Great. So we're gonna flow through one more time And I'll give guidance for doing the beginner version or the more advanced version as well. All right, standing tall in your mountain pose, rooting down through those feet, energy shooting out of the crown of the head. Inhale, arms up overhead, growing long. Exhale with a flat back, coming all the way down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, lowering down, stepping back, plank position. And on that same exhale, tucking the elbows in, slowly lowering down, Chaturanga. Now inhaling either up to Cobra or pushing all the way up, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here. Traditionally, you would take 5 long inhales and exhales. Whatever suits your practice, you could take more breaths or less. We'll just take 2. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose as you push those hips high. Weight in the heels, pushing out of those hands. One more exhale. Now inhale, lift to the tippy toes, look to the top of the mat, bend the knees, and either walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. And inhale all the way up to stand, everything squeezing and engaged. And exhale, arms down by your side. So now we're going to come back down to the floor and just break down some of that flow in a little bit more detail. So coming down to our plank position. Now what I was demonstrating before is the full expression of Chaturanga, with the elbows coming in, biceps rotated out, weight shifts forward, and we slowly descend down. This is a really great shoulder and arm workout, but it's also really intense. So if you're a complete beginner, that might not be the best place to start. So a good modification from plank position would be first to lower the knees down, then squeezing the elbows in the same way we were doing. You want to lower the chest down, and then finally the chin down. So what I like to call it is knees, chest, chin. Very original. So from plank, again, we're going to shift the weight forward, bring the elbows into the rib cage, lower the knees, and squeezing the belly in, lower the chest, lower the chin. Now from here, we can swoop in on our inhale to Cobra. So the feet there, we're tucked under, and then we slowly push the toes out, come to the tops of the feet so that we can press into those feet to lift up for Cobra. So just moving through that transition one more time. From plank, on your exhale, shift the weight forward, elbows in, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, scoop it through, lifting the upper chest and back for Cobra. So to take it one step up from knees, chest, chin, but if you're not quite ready for Chaturanga, there is another variation. So from our plank, we could just put the knees down, and again, tucking the elbows in, slowly lower the upper body down. So that'll give you a little bit more of an arm workout, more than knees, chest, chin, but less than Chaturanga. So you just find what works for you, and every day might be completely different. And sit up for a moment. I want to introduce child's pose, which is a resting posture, but at the same time, it's active, it's stretching the low back, opening up the hips, you can engage the arms still, so there's a lot of variations in child's pose. But what's so great about child's pose is that you can take it any time during the sequence, during your flow, and if you need to kind of come back to the breath, collect yourself, maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, maybe you need to put the forehead on the floor, child's pose is always available to you, and it's a wonderful, beautiful, restorative pose. So how to get into child's pose? Basically, let's start back in our plank position. And from here, we're going to drop the knees down to the mat and press all the way back towards the heels, sending the hips to the back of the mat, dropping the chest down, and letting the forehead touch the top of the mat. dropping the knees down and letting the forehead touch the mat. So we want to think about sending our hips towards our heels, again, stretching out that low back, and reach the hands long in front of you. If you like, you could even tent the fingers or walk the hands out. So you're really getting a nice long stretch pretty much down the whole side of the body. And rest here. Sometimes I like to look left and right and give my forehead a little massage. And just allow yourself to breathe and melt into the mat. Again, if you'd like to keep the hands active and push back into the heels, you can. So as I mentioned, you can move into child's pose pretty much at any point during your sequence. So whether you're in plank and you're feeling your core really engaged and your arms are working overtime and you just need to take that little bit of a resting posture, push back into child's pose. If you just worked through your Chaturanga, you came into up dog, and you're not quite ready to move into down dog or stand up, put the knees down, come back into child's pose. Anytime you want to do it, it's a really great posture, again, to stretch the low back and just come back to your center, come back to your breath. Thank you so much for joining me today in our breakdown of Sun Salutation A. And I just want to congratulate you for all the work you just did, really breaking it down and feeling through every posture. You're amazing and magnificent, and I hope you join me again for part 2 of this series. If you liked this video, please subscribe to Psyche Truth to see more. And also, definitely come check me out, my website, comingohm.com, where you can learn more about me and other wellness practices. To find my full library of videos that are not available on YouTube, check out Psyche Truth Plus. There you can stream to your TV, tablet, cell phone, or virtually any device so that you can join me for yoga class anywhere at any time. I look forward to seeing you on your mat.